Vibing is fine, but if your gap year turns into a gap decade and your life plans...
Yeah. You don't want to turn into a gaping hole that people can just penetrate at any point in time. No. Wake up, goon. Eat some food, smoke some za, goon again, play the game, goon again, sleep. Everybody know a guy or two like this, bro. Types of people after high school.
You did it. You graduated. You survived 4 years of awkward class presentations, school lunches that probably violated the Geneva Convention.
Yo, what the hell? I have never in my life seen this concoction. Why is it pink? Why is it this thick? And why is there a banana and rice and tomato sauce on the same plate?
And your Discord group chat did not get leaked. But now you're out. You're free. And
Okay.
suddenly that question hits like a truck. So what's next? Some people sprint toward college like it's the finish
This was
line.
me, bro. I immediately just enrolled into college. But luckily I went to community college. Yo, community college, good idea. If you're thinking about it, you know, you're on the fence. Community college, transfer to a good university. Trust. You're gonna have to lock in though.
Others clock into a job 2 days later like, yep, this
That
is
was me
life
as well.
now. And then there's the rest
Both.
of us just sitting in our rooms like, should I start a podcast or a pyramid scheme? Let's talk about it. The types of people after high school.
Let's talk about
and how weird this phase of life actually is. Starting off, we have the college dreamer. These are kids that always knew they were going to college. They had a dream school, a major, a life plan, a backup plan, and a backup.
And they were always Asian. Let's be honest, bro. I'm just kidding. But a lot of times, you know, in my high school, everybody who, you know, trying to go to college from the rip, they already knew what major they wanted to do. I wasn't even thinking about that. Me, I was an athlete, bro. I was playing sports until one day I realized, yeah, I'm not going pro. Then I was like, damn, what am I going to do now? Canon event, bro.
For their backup. They got their dorm set up off Pinterest, joined a Discord server for their class before orientation, and had their roommate's name memorized before they even graduated high school. Fast forward a few weeks and it's like, yeah, I'm 14 grand in debt. I hate my major. And
14, that's it? You're lucky, bro. Some people are down 100K. Me, I'm down 0 debt, but I'm not even done with university yet.
my roommate's been coughing since the second week of school. College is
Damn.
cool if you know what you're doing, but most people don't. Most people just go because they're told to by parents, teachers, guidance counselors, and the ghost of the American dream. And now you're paying 40 grand a year just to cry in a communal bathroom. Fun times. Then there's the people who skip college and go straight into the workforce. They start working warehouse jobs, retail, construction.
Yo,
whatever.
I've heard some really bad things about them warehouse jobs. If anybody watches videos had a warehouse job, bro, I heard that it's just like high school with the drama, but then you're like constantly working. The hours are crazy, and it's like you feel like you're a goddamn, you know, Chinese factory worker, you know, doing youth labor and stuff. You know, slavery.
Gets the bills paid. They're making money, stacking checks, and eating out every night because they still live at home and
True.
only have 3 bills. At first, it sounds smart. You're making money right away, no student loans hanging over your head, and your weekends are free if you're lucky.
And
you
then
start thinking, hey, this might actually be a better path. But then the reality sets in. The hours are long, the pay isn't as life-changing as you thought, you're constantly tired physically and mentally, you
Yup.
go home drained, you wake up drained, and every day starts blurring together.
same.
You're surrounded by people twice your age who have been there since before you were even born. And
Facts. And then you're like, damn, bro, if I stay in this job, I'm gonna be stuck just like the rest of them, bro. My coworkers, bro, they were having like 20-year careers in the restaurant and stuff. I was a newbie. I'm like, bro, I'm just buying, you know, I'm just here to make some money, buy some new Jordans, you know, buy some food, save a little bit of cash, and call it a day. These motherfuckers have children, you know, grandchildren even. Like, damn, bro, I can't be stuck here for the rest of my life. Facts.
say things like, it's not great, but it's a job, or at least it's stable. They're not chasing anything. They're just surviving. And then that's when it hits you. This isn't a launch pad. This is where people stay because they don't have time, energy, or options left
The
to
9 to 5 is where dreams go to die.
go anywhere else. It becomes routine. Wake up, commute, work, home, sleep. Do that for the rest of your life with maybe 2 weeks off per year if your boss approves the PTO. And for a lot of people,
PTO,
the
these
scariest
jobs don't be having PTO like that, bro.
part isn't even the job itself. It's the idea that you could blink and suddenly be like 40, still there, still stuck, wondering what your life could have been if you'd done something else. Then there's that person, the one who said, I'm taking a gap year. Not because they couldn't go to college, not because they had a plan, but because they needed to find themselves, to travel, to breathe, to experience the world. You ask them where they're going and they'll hit you with, I'm thinking Europe or maybe Southeast Asia. You know, go off the grid for a bit. 6 months later, they haven't gone further than the local Taco Bell. They wake up at
Canon event, bro. I didn't take this no damn gap year, but I'm about to take it now, bro. Taking that gap year in my 3rd year of college, so I got 3 semesters left and I graduate with a bachelor's degree. But I ain't, you know, I'm gonna take that gap year just cause, you know.
2 p.m., scroll TikTok for 3 hours, and then tweet something deep like healing isn't linear. Their idea of working on themselves is watching 3-hour video essays on YouTube.
Yeah,
about
if you're
movies
not really locking in, like lock it in, don't take no damn gap year,
they've
bro.
never seen. They downloaded Duolingo to learn French, but stopped after bonjour. They keep saying they're gonna start a clothing brand, and they did design one hoodie in Canva that they haven't posted because they're waiting for the right vibe. And listen, there's no shame in taking a break. Sometimes that time off is necessary, especially if school has burnt you out. But
also, if you don't know what you want to do, like sometimes, bro, you just don't want to get yourself into a crazy amount of debt. That's what I would say.
Problem is, this break becomes your whole life. You know, 1 month becomes 3, 3 becomes 6, and before you know it, they've built a full routine around doing absolutely nothing. Wake up late, stare at a wall, play some Valorant, hit up their local gas station for dinner, and repeat. But they'll keep saying, trust me, bro, I got plans. And when you ask what those plans are, it's always vague. Big things coming. I'm in a building phase right now. No, you're not. You're in pajamas at 4 p.m. They'll talk about...
bro, let's be honest. Just say you're taking a year off, to vacation and relax, bro. If that's what it is, and that's what it is.
Launching something like their Elon Musk.
You're unemployed. That's what it is.
They've launched is a DoorDash order. They keep referencing the economy like it's the reason they haven't made a move yet. Like, I mean, with inflation, the way it is right now, bro, you don't even pay for gas. What are you talking about? And look, we've all been there to some extent. The weird limbo phase. You're technically free. You don't owe anyone anything. You're just kind of floating. And for a while, that can feel amazing. You're not answering to teachers. You're not stuck in a
smokescreen, though.
You're not dealing with exams or deadlines. But if you're not careful, that float becomes a free fall.
God of War 2, bro.
You stop trying, and you convince yourself that you're waiting for the right moment when really you're just scared to start. Gap years are fine.
As a third-year student, I'll be starting to apply for internships.
Yo, bro, why am I still getting it?
Never been more important. And Grammarly helps me in this situation by helping.
You did it. You graduated. You survived 4 years of awkward class presentation. You stop making decisions, you stop trying, and you convince yourself that you're waiting for the right moment when really you're just scared to start. Gap years are fine, resting is fine, vibing is fine, but if your gap year turns into a gap decade and your life
You don't want to turn into a gaping hole that people can just penetrate at any point in time. No. Turn that gap year into something actually productive, bro. Learn something new, learn a new skill, find yourself, find what you really want to do in life, start some passions. Like, dude, use that gap year productively, bro. Don't just be lazy. And if you're going to be lazy beyond, just say, I'm going to be unemployed for a year because that's what I'm going to do.
It still revolves around a clothing brand that does not exist yet. Maybe it's time to clock back in. Next up, we have the friend who straight up disappears after high school. High school ends and this person vanishes like it's a Marvel post-credit scene. 1 minute they were at every hangout, every group chat, every chaotic late night Discord call, then poof, they're gone.
Everybody got a friend like that, and either they're, God forbid, dead, in jail, or maybe they're in the military. Or they got a girlfriend. You don't even know.
They stop replying. They leave the Snap group chat without saying a word. They're not mad. They're not beefing. They just dipped. At first, you're like, maybe they're busy, but then weeks turn into months. Birthdays go by. Inside jokes get forgotten. And the next time you think of them is because Instagram reminded you with one of those weird people you may know stories where they're standing in front of a Jeep with a quote like, only forward from here. Then one day out of nowhere, you run into them. Target, gas station, Taco Bell, doesn't matter. And it's the weirdest interaction of your life. Oh my God, how have you been? Good, I'm just working a lot, grinding. Yeah. Grinding what?
Grinding
no one
what?
knows.
Yeah.
You're half expecting them to tell you they're a freelance monk or something. And the thing is, they're not weird or rude or distant when you see them again.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's normal to give people time. People want to distance themselves from you for whatever reason, bro. Allow them to do so. It's not always the worst thing.
And they're chill, they're polite. It's like catching up with a coworker you forgot you used to be best friends with. You part ways with some, awkward let's hang soon energy, knowing damn well it's never happening.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad thing really. It's just what happens. People drift, they move towns, they get new jobs, new circles, new priorities.
New friends, new people, new husbands, new girls, new whatever it is, bro. Like,
It still hits you sideways when someone who was in your life every single day just becomes a memory. You start realizing how many friendships were based on proximity, not purpose.
True.
Y'all weren't soulmates, y'all just sat next to each other in biology for 4 years. And it's weird because when it happens, you think you did something wrong. Like, did I say something? Did I forget to reply to something important? No, they're just on a different path now, and that's okay.
Yeah, everybody's doing their own thing in life. You can't even blame them.
Stings, but it's okay. Eventually, you'll be that person to someone else too. You'll vanish from their life, pop up months later. Yo, it's been a minute, DM with no explanation. And that's just how life moves after high school, Friendships stop being automatic. You actually have to put effort in, and if neither
That's an underrated problem too. Like, you actually got to try to make friends when you're in, like, since I graduated high school, I don't think I've really made, not to lie, I've made friends just because of YouTube and stuff, but I haven't really made friends like in person, on some basic connection, like, oh, yo, what's good, bro? Like, da-da-da-da.
Bond just fades, not out of malice or hatred, just out of life. Sorry, I'll try to keep it lighthearted, not to get too existential with you guys. All right, next up, we got the bum. There's the gap year person, and then there's their final form, the bum. Because the gap year person pretends that there's a plan. The bum, they're not even pretending anymore. They're in a deep void, no goals, no job, no plan.
Yep, this is like, wake up, goon. Eat some food, smoke some za, goon again, play the game, goon again, Sleep. Everybody know a guy or two like this, bro.
Plan. Just vibes, vape clouds, and a mattress on
I forgot the
floor.
vape, yeah.
Their sleep schedule doesn't exist. They just collapse at random. They've watched 18 seasons of Grey's Anatomy this month alone. Every day is just a blur of TikToks, microwave burritos.
This is like low-key me on the low, except I do YouTube, so like it's fine, I think.
And nah, I'll do it tomorrow. You ask them what they're up to, and they'll go, just chilling lately, trying to figure stuff out. Bro, it's been a year. What are you trying to figure out?
Pretty
Shapes?
much.
They'll randomly bring up business ideas that sound like fever dreams, like I might start a CBD candle line. I've been looking into like vending machines and passive income.
Chill,
you know?
bro, I'm gonna start a
Look
clothing
over, they're
brand.
watching a 6-hour YouTube documentary on crypto by a guy named Finance Daddy. They haven't applied to a single job, not because they're unqualified, but because they haven't updated their resume since 10th grade when they worked at Chuck E. Cheese for 2 weeks. And here's the thing, it didn't start this way. Most of the time, the bum used to be the gap year person. They took a break to chill and they just never
Crazy part is, bro, the bum was the gap year person, but before that, they were the 3 a.m. motivation person. And then before that, you know, they were that kid in high school with big dreams and aspirations, bro. This is how the world kills us and turns us into bums.
back up. It's like when your computer goes into sleep mode but never wakes back up. That's them. It's being stuck in like a permanent loading screen. And that's
Yeah.
kind of the post-high school lineup. There's definitely some people I haven't covered, so 10,000 likes for a part 2. Whether you're in college pretending to take notes on a Zoom class or working 10-hour shifts debating if a Costco membership counts as an investment, you're not alone. None of us know what we're doing, and the ones
Facts.
that do, they're probably faking it better than the rest of us.
Pretty much. Like, everybody's just coping with, you know, what they're trying to do, bro. Even the kids in college who are studying right now, they're probably just using ChatGPT to do damn near all of their assignments, bro. And half of them are like, damn, is this really what I'm going to do? Am I really going to go to school for goddamn... Because think about it, bro. You're going to school for liberal arts, music, and journalism. These weak-ass majors that are not going to get you paid, what are you even doing? You're just in college for the experience, which the experience is just getting smashed, you know? Getting smashed or smashing people. And, yeah, you're just there to have fun, which is a bad reason to go to college. So, yeah, that's... Don't go to college unless you're actually going to college for a good reason, and pick a good career.
Everyone moves at their own pace. Some people jump ahead and crash. Some fall behind and catch up later. Some disappear and come back with a beard and a business. But no matter where you're at, just don't get stuck. Don't let temporary become forever.
Yes.
Don't let comfort become your cage.
I think that's a fact, bro. Do not get stuck in that 9 to 5. Do not think that, oh, like, this is the grass that's greener or whatever. You know, this isn't so bad, because you'll see it. Your coworkers are stuck there. You don't want to be like them. No offense.
And definitely don't convince yourself that burnout means you're just mature. That's not maturity. That's just poor hygiene and caffeine addiction. So take your time, take a nap, take a risk, but whatever you do, don't take advice from that one guy selling a $97 course on how to escape the Matrix.
True. Well, that was types of people after high school. Currently, I think I can speak for all of us when I can say we are all the bum. You know, we're all doing absolutely nothing, just staying up late, scrolling, vaping, smoking, and doing a bunch of bad activities. With that being said, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Join the Discord link in the description. It's love you all. I love you, and I'm out.